on guys, this is the Entrepreneur here today with a new video. Today we are looking at the fragrances that I would not rebuy from my collection and a couple alternatives to those said fragrances. So I'm sure we've all got some of these in our collections that maybe we make too rash of a decision on. We go out and buy and we later find an alternative that actually does it a little bit better, for us anyway. And I always talk about testing for other fragrances that share similar note profiles, because I find that happens quite a bit if you don't do your homework. Anyway, these are 5 from my collections that I really like. I like them all, and I'm not saying they're bad. In fact, they're good enough for me not to sell. But if I had to do it over again, I would recommend these other 5 fragrances as opposed to the ones that I actually have in my collection. So without further ado, let's go. First one's gonna break some hearts here. Particularly mine, because I love this fragrance. But if I had to do it over, I don't think that today I would buy this fragrance. This is from Viktor & Rolf, and it is Spicebomb. So this is an OG formulation of Spicebomb, which is super strong. I would not buy Spicebomb again, especially today, because the reformulations are apparently very weak, and I do think that one of the flankers, Spicebomb Extreme, actually does a little bit better job of what Spicebomb's trying to do. This is very spicy, very in your face. I find it a little bit sweet. Excellent performance on me. Only issue is it's not really a prime time to wear it. I wear it mostly in the winter when I feel like going casually, or I've even worn it to the club. It does okay there. But I just think that Spicebomb Extreme for most guys would be a better bet. Due to the added vanilla, its added warmth, you could wear that on a date. You could still wear it everywhere you would wear Spicebomb. I think it's the better option, so that plus Spicebomb Extreme performs very well on my skin. Not quite as well as this OG Spicebomb. If I ran out of Spicebomb, I wouldn't rebuy it. I'd buy Extreme, definitely. Anyway, that's the first one. Another one that reformulations kind of hurt. This one, even if it wasn't reformulated, I don't think I would go for it again. This is from Chanel, and it is Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette. So, Bleu de Chanel EDT, very popular scent DNA. This, to my knowledge, was one of the first shower jelly type scents, super generic type scents. Incense, grapefruit, fresh, but at the same time has a little bit of a backbone. It smells pretty good. All of these were kind of hard for me to put on this list, but there's a couple reasons for Bleu de Chanel. Number one, reformulations. Again, I would not buy Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette ever again just due to reformulations. No thank you, go for the EDP. But besides that, I do think that there's a better fragrance that came out that does what this does, except maybe even a little better, from Versace, Dylan Blue. I would recommend, and I would personally get Dylan Blue over this in the future, just because even disregarding the reformulations, they last about the same amount of time. Even my vintage bottle compared to a new bottle of Dylan Blue, they last pretty much the same amount of time. Gets compliments, but not quite as much as that modern scent DNA from Dylan Blue. Dylan Blue's a little bit more modern, because I think it's about 5 years newer. Also, I just find it more pleasant. It's more easy, if that makes sense. It's an easier scent to appreciate, and for that reason, I just think it does everything that this does except a little better. That being said, I don't know if this one stays in my collection forever. It is good, but I think there are better options, and I would definitely recommend you check out Dylan Blue if you haven't already. Next up in my collection is one that I just did a review for that I actually really enjoy. This has one of the prettiest openings ever, but there are a couple other flaws. This one is from Ferragamo, and it is called Uomo. So, Salvatore Ferragamo, you may know, it's got this tiramisu opening. It's beautiful. It's so sweet and tasty and awesome. For the first 30 minutes to an hour, this is one of my favorite designer fragrances. It's just after that where it gets boring, sweet, syrupy kind of coffee. It still smells good. I like it. This is a tester bottle, by the way. That's why there's no goofy thing on top here. But I still like this. I really like this. But I would like a fragrance that I love the whole way through as opposed to just love for the first hour. So instead of Ferragamo Uomo, what I would recommend to you for some sweet fall and winter fragrances, I would go either Paco Rabanne 1 Million Prive, which is a great sweet apple cider type scent, way better than the original to me. Or I would also recommend you from Emporio Armani, Stronger With You. It's got pretty much that Armani Code Profumo feel for me, except it's a little bit sweeter and a little bit easier to wear. Like Code Profumo is pretty much dead cold and club for me, but I think you could wear Stronger With You many places, especially in the fall and winter. Man, it's just really well done. It's sweet, it's nice, it's pleasing, it's gonna get you compliments. That and 1 Million Prive are both really good options, and if I had to do it again, I would buy them over Ferragamo Uomo. Hey, breaking some hearts here. This is the first non-designer fragrance that I would not rebuy. This is a cologne fragrance. This is a really good cologne fragrance, and I'll explain to you in a little bit why I wouldn't rebuy this. This is from Armaf, and it is Très Nuit. I talk about this one quite a bit because it's really good. This is a really nice clone of Creed Green Irish Tweed. However, for me, Green Irish Tweed is a lot better than this. I think if you want a casual spring fragrance, this is really, really good. The reason I prefer Green Irish Tweed is because it's just smells classier. It smells deeper, more rich, nicer. That opening kills this one's. Performance is about the same. Compare them side by side. I just clearly prefer the scent of Green Irish Tweed, even though it is a lot more expensive. And I do think that you can dress Green Irish Tweed up and down, whereas Très Nuit is pretty much down for me, and that's about it. That being said, it smells really, really good. And if you've tried Bond Number 9 Shea Bond, this is 99% close to that in my opinion. It's not quite as natural smelling as Green Irish Tweed, doesn't have that lemon verbena opening, but it's kind of more sporty almost, a little bit spicy. That's what I think of when I think of Très Nuit, and I really think this one demolishes Shea Bond. Well, I do think this is a great fragrance, and if you're not the biggest lover of Green Irish Tweed, then it's probably a safe bet if you want a good green fragrance for your collection, but at the end of the day, Green Irish Tweed is strictly better, and that's why I don't think I would rebuy Très Nuit. So, as I continue to break hearts, this is the 5th fragrance. This is another one that kind of breaks my heart a little bit, but when I was putting this list together, it made a lot of sense too. This one is one from Paco Rabanne, and it is Invictus. Okay, so I've said from the beginning that I really, really like this stuff. I do. Up until recently, it was my favorite Paco Rabanne, but for reasons I will explain now, it's not really anymore. Reason number 1, I never wear it. This is pretty much clubs only for me. It's quite strong and very sweet, but in the winter, I don't really love going for it because the winter's prime time to reach for all your deep, sweet coffee tobacco fragrances, and I don't really think to go for it in there, so this is pretty much only club for me. I never club, ever. But if I do, I have a sample of Dior Sauvage to put on that frankly gets more compliments than this stuff ever has, and it just works. We all know Sauvage works, so really this has been replaced by a sample for me, which is funny, but the fragrance that I would recommend you get instead of this one is one that I've been testing for a review a lot recently. That review might be out before this video, I don't know. That fragrance is Invictus Aqua. Invictus Aqua is just this, except watered down a bit. I am going mostly off the 2016 Invictus Aqua to this point, but you could wear Invictus Aqua anywhere you'd wear this one and more. I've worn Invictus Aqua casually, and I also think that you could wear it to dates. Would it be my #1 date option? No, but the added versatility just makes it better than this one to me, and the smell is very, very close. So Invictus, as much as I love you, I just don't really have a place for this one anymore. If I could do it again, I would buy Invictus Aqua 2016 over regular Invictus. And I also do think that if you're looking for a straight club scent, this is a really good choice. Dior Sauvage is just a better option because everybody and their dog loves it. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Well guys, that's been the 5 fragrances from my collection I would not rebuy. I stated the reasons for all of them. Like I said, I do not think any of these are bad. If you guys have any of these in your collection, you're probably doing pretty good. But if you don't, and you maybe like these fragrances, you need to try the alternatives that I mentioned, because I do think that they are better. If I had to do it again, I would go for the alternatives. And in the future, I'm probably going to be selling or giving away most of these. I mean, Spicebomb isn't going anywhere, but we'll see about the other ones. Just to touch on Spicebomb once more, the original formulation of Spicebomb to me is a lot better than Spicebomb Extreme, but Extreme versus modern Spicebomb, easy winner, Spicebomb Extreme. Anyway, let me know down in the comments, what did you think of my 5 picks? What are some from your collection that you wouldn't rebuy again, and what would you buy again in their stead? Also, let me know if you'd like to see another one of these. I might be able to find a few more fragrances in my collection and a couple alternatives that I would prefer, if that's something you guys want to see. Guys, this has been The Sentrepreneur. If you enjoyed this video and haven't done so already and would love to see tons of new fragrance content, I would encourage you to please subscribe down there to my YouTube channel to get to see all this new fun stuff we're doing. Also, if you like this video, please toss it a big thumbs up down below. That'd be fantastic. Hit that bell, whichever side it's on, to get notified whenever I come up with a new video. One more thing, follow me on Snapchat to see Scents of the Days, new pickups, exclusive first impressions, the works. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, all good fragrances, but hindsight's 20/20. I will see you in the next video. Have an awesome day.